All right, for this week's project, I am going to be braiding a ring. I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is a focus, focus, focus. This is a 3-strand, 5-bite knot. I think it's braided out of 16 gauge wire. Now, like most of my hobbies, I don't do this one frequently enough to really internalize most of the lessons. So I got to keep notes. And unfortunately, my notes on ring braiding are really awful. I've got here that 20 gauge wire is too thin. And I didn't write down what I tried to do with it. Now this is, pretty sure this is 20 gauge wire. And it is awfully thin. Now the thinner the wire, the more the ring will settle when I take it off of the rig. Boy, I wish I could remember what size rig I made this on. I didn't keep any notes about this one, so I don't know. I have a rig. It is a plastic tube with a bunch of holes at regular intervals and some brass pegs. I bought this from goldenknots.com, golden-knots.com. I don't think they sell these anymore. It's designed for a 5-strand braid, not a 3, but that makes kind of a cuff ring. My wife doesn't like those. So I've got, let's see, I think the one I'm wearing right now is 16 gauge. I got a note here that 20 gauge is too small, like this. I'm going to try 18 gauge. And I'm going to try 3-strand, 5-bite, like this. I'm also going to do it on the smallest set, and we'll see if I can. Sue wears a size 8. I'm going to see if I can make it that small. That's the thing. 5-strand knots on this one, the small one, they get really tiny. But a 3-strand, there's a lot more room for it to spread out. So this is not designed for making 3-strand rings. But yeah, like I said, Sue doesn't like the cuffs rings. So I'm experimenting, seeing how I can get them a more regular shape. Yeah, so let's get started. I'm gonna write this down before I go any further. Okay. All right, now they're not quite evenly spaced because this is set up for 9 bites, which doesn't work with a 3-strand braid because 9 is divisible by 3, which is how this is a 6-bite, which is why it's 3 different wires instead of 1 single wire. This is going to be a single wire braid though. Don't remember how much wire it takes. I'm going to go with about a yard, about an arm length. Start in the middle. Okay, first wrap is just wrapping it around, as is the second wrap actually. Okay, once. Twice. And now we start to braid. This is going. So this isn't special wire. This is just craft wire from. I honestly don't even remember if I got it from Michael's or Joann's. Problem with this type of wire is it's still. I think they're all the same material. They're all just plated with something else. And the problem is I'm a little rough on the wire when I'm braiding, so the plating tends to get damaged. If I can braid out of just a solid, like solid copper wire, for example, works really well. Okay, now we've gotten around to the beginning. Now I start going back over what I just did. I'm also going to start removing pins as they get in the way. This definitely works better with softer materials. One of the several mistakes I made when I braided my wedding rings is that I figured since it's wire, resiliency is going to be an issue, so I shouldn't use soft gold. I should use a nice resilient 10 karat. And the problem with that is that the harder material tends to kink and bind up more. Case in point, And this is soft craft wire, so I don't even have an excuse for this. All right. Now I've gone around twice. I'm going to go around a third time. And hopefully not screw anything up. At this point, I think I'm going to take off the rest of these. At this point, this is just to keep it round. It's not. Okay. This one, instead of going down and up, I'm just going to go through and under. Get this as flat as possible. All right, now at this point, it's tiny, which is encouraging, because the problem I've always had with a 3-strand is that they end up being too small. This just needs some persuasion. First things first, though. All right, this is a scary device. This is all about helping it settle into nice, pretty shape. So right here I got a problem. I got too much slack on that line. And tying knots like this in leather is a lot easier than tying them in metal. Oops. All right, I think this is... Wow, really? So 18 gauge is actually possibly just perfect. It's going to take a lot of stretching to get this up to a size 8. This might end up being my daughter's ring. Hold it very carefully when I pop this out because I've gotten skin pinched in the seams before, and that really, really hurts. So the trick to cutting these so that they don't dig into your skin is you bend them up first and then trim them off. So they're pointing away. And I should have done this sooner so that with the stretching, this would get pulled under. Forgot about that step. All right, so it's actually a size smaller than I was aiming for, so that is actually pretty awesome. Step 2. All right, so this is too small, but that is really good to know. The one ring it ain't, but I'm happy with it. Cool. All right. See you guys next week.